Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So before this video starts, I want to let you all know that this will be my last video for the rest of the year. I'll get back to uploading the 1st of January, or it might be the 31st for you, depending on the time zone. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you all on January 1st. Now, I want to give a shout out to two people, Wictorline and Zekaltez. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that name right. They actually were talking in a previous video I made, or talking to themselves, and this is how I learned about this new rumor about what the next Life is Strange is going to be, titled Life is Strange Hydra. Now, supposedly, like, for those of you who don't know, Hydra is, if I'm remembering correctly, a Greek monster with 3 heads, and every time you cut off a head, 2 more grow in its place, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyways, this is meant to be, the reason it's called Codename Hydra is because it's meant to be not bringing back Max, but also Daniel and Alex for this next game. Because we know from the leaks that, what's Square Enix, sorry, I was about to say don't know it. Square Enix wants to turn Life is Strange into their own version of the MCU, which is absolutely not going to work. And if this is what they're doing, if this is true, they're going to bring back Sean and Alex. I honestly don't think it's going to work. The main reason is we saw how Max Caulfield was handled. The We were sure that our choices from the previous game would be respected, but they weren't. Not to mention the number of writing issues, plot holes, and inconsistencies that Double Exposure had. So I don't trust whoever Square Enix puts in charge of Life is Strange now, because Deck 9 has had a series of layoffs. The two people in charge, Strouder and Quan, they're out. So I don't trust whoever Square Enix gives the rights to, because how are you supposed to respect players' choices with Life is Strange 2? Because there's 4 endings, and there's 7, but those are all variables. So, for example, one of them, Sean crosses the border and Daniel stays behind. He's under house arrest, and Sean will send Daniel a photo of him, and it can either be by himself, with Finn, or with Cassidy. That's why I say variants, because it's the same ending, just a slight variant. So I don't trust them to respect, because if it's okay, a good or bad ending, then obviously the good ending would be, at least the way I think that they would do it, is the good ending is Sean goes to jail and Daniel is raised right. And the bad ending would be that Sean is dead and Daniel's in Puerto Lobos and he's got the blonde hair. So I can see them doing that, but what they're going to do with Alex, I'm not sure. Maybe one ending is she stays or leaves, but it's just not possible, I don't think. And if you remember, Square Enix had these, they wanted to do these surveys in London and they wanted to bring people in and ask them, okay, what do you think, what did you like about Life? What do you love about Life is Strange? What do you hate about it? What would you like to see in the future series? Because they're desperate, because let's face it, Square Enix cares about money. That's what they want. And it's only after Double Exposure has flopped. I wouldn't call it flopped, because it did sell based on nostalgia and the hype of Chloe and Max possibly returning. But no, they didn't give us Chloe and Max. We just got Max, and a lot of us are disappointed with that. So the fact that they're coming out now asking fans what they want is really, to me, it stinks of desperation, because they know that they screwed up. You've already lost like a big portion of the fan base who liked the ending. The ending when you sacrifice Arcadia Bay to save Chloe. Like, a lot of that fan base felt like it was a slap to the face for them, and I don't blame them for never wanting to play Life is Strange again. Like, I'm sure they go back and play the other games, but anymore, I think they wouldn't do it, because why would you? Like, I know I will probably play the next Life is Strange game, so people who don't want to play it don't have to, because it's like a train wreck for me at this point. I know it's bad, but I can't look away. And it could have been a lot worse too, because Lost Records, the newest game from Don't was meant to come out, if I'm remembering correctly, it was meant to come out this month, but they decided to put, at least the first part was meant to, but they decided to push it to February to give Double Exposure room to breathe and make sales. If that game came out, at least the first part, if it came out this month, I can guarantee you people would be comparing it to Double Exposure, saying this is way better, because it's at this point like we didn't get Max for the sake of, okay, this is not going to be, it wasn't a proper sequel. It was a sequel for the sake of a cash grab, and I absolutely hate it when companies do that. Now, Don't Nod is, they haven't really done a series. They've released a bunch of standalone games. So we've had Vampire, Tell Me Why. There was something else that the name escapes me. And then there's this game, Lost Records. So when this game comes out, I can guarantee you all people are going to be comparing it to what Deck 9 did with Double Exposure. And Don't Know could generally be they could make a series, because we don't know if this is just a standalone game or if it could start a franchise. But if Don't Know did start a franchise, I guarantee you it could rival Life is Strange, because you can see all the love that Don't Know puts into their games, whereas with Deck 9, at least after True Colors, Double Exposure wasn't like, didn't really have a soul. It's like they didn't know what they were doing, really. They didn't. As I said before, a lot of inconsistencies with the writings, so it's clear they didn't know what they were doing. And that's why if you look now, the game, I think it's on Steam, 30% off. And you know games only do that shortly after they're released, when their sales are not meeting expectations. But anyway, that's really all I wanted to talk about in this video. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, because there's not really much more information I can tell you about what this next game is. It's probably what the next Double Exposure game is going to be. If the rumor's right, then we're definitely going to see Daniel and Alex again. But at this point, I don't really have any hope for the series. Like, the only possible way I could get hope is if Square Enix gave the rights back to Don't Nod to make another Life is Strange game, but, let's be realistic, that ain't happening. Anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.